Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Anel with Great Millstone Borderland Saints of El Paso, Texas. Welcome to another video. And as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kwadash. Also, double honors to the head apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessing, and safety to all sincere brethren. Keep believing, keep teaching, and keep preaching, whether they hear or whether they forbear. And we're going to be starting our lesson off here in Genesis, the 6th chapter. All right. And we're going to talk a little bit about the wickedness of man in the beginning of time. All right. And we'll stop when the Lord see fit. Prayerfully, we beg the Lord to be with us and to bless this message so that the 144,000 of the hopefully elect of Israel will be edified. All right. Hopefully this will be living waters to you, and may you live forever, those of you that are holy and righteous. All right, and it says in the 6th verse, in the 6th chapter of Genesis, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Yahweh saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives, all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of Yahweh came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. So there were giants in those days. Now, some of the archaeologists over there in the Middle East and Asia and all of those areas are finding bones. You see of giants. You see 10 times bigger than that of what a man is today. All right. But the earth has been producing man for a long time. I don't know the exact date, but we're reading here from Genesis, the 6th chapter. All right. The men were giants. Okay. And they were men of renown. All right. And it says, and Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So man is very wicked. The Lord saw that right off the bat about it. Okay. And it says, and it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. So it grieved the Lord that he even created man. Okay. Because of his wickedness. All right. Because sin entered up under Adam and Eve. If you go back over to the 3rd chapter, 2 chapters back over, you'll see that sin entered into the earth by disobedience. First by Eve and then by Adam. Okay. And then it says, and the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping things, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. So the Lord was angry with man, and he repented that he had even created man because of his wickedness, because he found out that the hearts of men were continually evil. Okay. And it says, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So Noah was a righteous man. All right. And Noah honored the Lord. Okay. All right. He was always honoring the Lord. Okay. And he found favor with the Lord. And it says, these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with Yahweh. So he walked with God. Okay. The God of Israel. Okay. That was way before Israel came into existence. Noah you see, was a holy and a righteous man before the Lord. Okay, he was a just man, the Holy Scriptures say. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right, and the Israelites came out of that lineage of Shem. All right, so that you'll know that where we came from up under that generation of men, of one of Noah's sons. And it says, and Yahweh looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his ways upon the earth. And Yahweh said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through men. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. And man, it's the same way today. That we are the Israelites in 2025 being threatened by the Amalekites. Okay, the grandchildren of Esau, the Edomites, the great-grandchildren of Esau, the Edomites, because of a Amalekite killing another Amalekite. You see, but they decided that they're gonna kill everybody that's not white, so-called white, for this white man killing another white, so-called white man. All right, and then it says, make thee an ark of gopher wood, rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and thou shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. So man is still continually evil, okay? And the Lord is telling Noah to make you an ark, okay? And I'm gonna tell you how to make it and how to pitch it and build it and so forth, because of man's wickedness, okay? Man has not changed since the beginning of time. Still murdering, still lying, okay? Still wicked from the beginning of time. And the Lord's gonna destroy him, as we know according to prophecy. Again, but we're gonna read a little bit there about that. And it says in the 15th verse, still in Genesis 6 and 15, and this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and in the cubit shalt thou finish it above. And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof with lower, second, and third stories, which thou shalt make it. So the ark was 3 stories high. All right. It's like a 3-story house. Okay. All right. And it says in 17th verse, and behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. So the Lord was telling Noah, I'm going to destroy man off the face of the earth. Okay? And I want you to build me an ark, you see? And that's what Noah got busy doing. And it says, but with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. So the Lord made a covenant with Noah that he was going to save his family, his sons, and their wives. Okay? So it was about 8 of them, if I remember correctly, that went into that ark. Okay? And it says, of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive. So the Lord remembered his creation, the animals, and he kept 2 of each and every kind alive. And Noah took them into the ark. And it says, and take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. So Noah took in plenty of food, stored up food, and took it into the ark, you see, because he knew that the Lord had said he was going to destroy man off the face of the earth, and he believed the Lord and moved by faith. That's the kind of same faith we have to have. Okay, if the Lord tells us to do something, we have to be in preparation for what the Lord say he's going to do. All right, moving by faith. Noah honored the Lord, and he moved by faith. So he was a man of faith from the beginning of time, before the Lord destroyed all of mankind off the earth, beast and so forth. All right, except for two of each and every kind, he moved and took him into the ark. And it says, thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him, so did he. Okay, so Yahweh commanded Noah what to do, and Noah went to work by faith. He didn't know how it was going. He didn't really know what he was doing, but he was just moving by faith based off what the Lord told him to do. Okay, and that's the same way we have to do. We don't see how things are going to happen coming up. You see, the Lord has already gave us prophets to tell us what's getting ready to happen. And we can't see. You know, we can't see the chariots. We can't see the armies of the Lord. We can't see the angels of the Lord, not with the natural eye. We got to move by faith, just like Noah. Okay, so some things are unseen. We can't see and understand, but we must move by faith. And it says in the 7th verse, and the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. That's what we want the Lord to say unto us in the end, okay, of this beast that we are living in. All right, this fourth beast that was in Daniel's dream in the 7th chapter, that would be mighty, and they would have nations up under it, and militaries all over the world, you see, and would be a great merchant and become very rich, you see. But the Lord has already told us, just like he told Noah, I'm going to destroy, you see. He showed us that through the prophets, that I'm going to destroy man again. All right. And we have to have this same mind that Noah had, moving the same way by faith. We can't see everything that the Lord's going to do. We just have to believe that the Lord's going to do what he said he will do as it is written in the Holy Scriptures. Okay. We got to move that way. Okay. By faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, and it's the evidence of things not seen. And that's what Noah did. Okay? He moved when the Lord told him to move. All right? That's the way we're going to do, the same exact way. All right? And it says in the 7th chapter, moving over to the 7th chapter of Genesis, and the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. So the Lord saw that Noah was a righteous man. We see he was wholly righteous, doing what the Lord told him to do. He didn't question the Lord. He just moved according to the way that the Lord told him to do. And it says in the 2nd verse, of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. See, so the clean ones, clean beasts, you should take to thee by sevens, and the male and the female, and of the beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. See, so the unclean beasts, you got unclean beasts like pigs, all right? A nasty beast, so eat anything, eat his own crap. You see, he's just a dirty beast. So the Lord said, just bring 2 of that type in. And it says, well, fowls also of the air by sevens, and male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of the earth. You see. And then in the 4th verse it says, for yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. So the Lord had told Noah, because you found grace in my sight. You see, because the Lord was giving Noah grace and his family some grace. Okay, remembering that Noah was a just man. We want the Lord to be able to say that about us when he destroyed the world that we know Yahweh Shai has said he's going to destroy. All right, he said, I came to bring a sword. I didn't come to bring peace, but I'm going to bring a sword. You see, and he's going to redeem the 144,000, hopefully elect of the house of David. All right. And then it says in the 5th verse, and Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the floods of waters were upon the earth. So he had lived to be 600 years old at that time. That's a long time. He was doing some good living. All right. Yeah, we must be moving the same way that Noah did. Now, we might not live 600 years old and all of that. The Lord may give us, if we're fortunate, 70 to 100 years, somewhere in there. If we're fortunate, that's about the lifespan of men nowadays. All right. And it says, and Noah went in, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood. So it started raining, and the people were marrying and, running wild and rioting and being wicked, you see. No doubt killing each other and so forth, partying, not paying attention. Now, Noah had been sitting out there for 120 years preaching to these people. And just like men of today, they walked by him scoffing and mocking, probably laughing at him because he was the only man standing out there preaching, all right, for men to stop being wicked, all right, just like we do. Standing out there on the streets, on the byways and in the hedges, preaching to the air. Hopefully that some of the sheep of Israel will hear, all right, the lost sheep of Israel. So the Lord's calling the 144,000 from the beginning of time, and he has predestinated them already in 1/3 of the Israelites that are scattered across this fourth beast nation, all right, that we're living in today here in 2025. All right. So we're just doing what the Lord told us to do, to go out and preach. He said, the Lord, Yahweh Shah said, feed my sheep. So we're going to feed you just like Noah did to the people, giving them warnings. He told us to blow the trumpet and give the people warning. So that's what we're doing. All right. We're doing the same thing Noah did. All right. Giving the people a warning. All right. And that's pretty clear, because that's what the Lord told us to do. And then it goes on to say, and Noah went in, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as Yahweh had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. So it rained for 7 days. Now we just had a rain that came down for 2 hours in Texas. It killed 120 people. It rained for 2 hours. 120 girls were killed. Okay, and maybe a little bit more than that. They never said exactly how many were missing, but we know there were 120 killed in just 2 hours. Okay, imagine it raining for 7 days like that. That's what was happening on the earth. All right, and men perished. You see, but Noah and his family did not perish because Noah moved the way the Lord told him to do. That's the same mindset that we're going to have today. You see? And then it says in the 11th verse, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, and 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. All right. So the great deep opened up, the windows of heaven were open, and it rained and rained and rained. All right. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Imagine that. You see, all of that rain flooding as far as the eye could see, up as high as the mountains. If you go out of your houses and look at the mountains, it rained so much that it was so much water on the earth that you couldn't see the mountains. That's how much water was out there. You go out of your homes and look in the mountains, you can see the mountains. The top of those mountains were covered with nothing but water. And all men perished. All right. All the beasts perished except for those that went into the ark as Yahweh had told Noah to do. And it says, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons were with them, went with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, and every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they went in male and female of all flesh. And Yahweh had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. You see, so the angels of the Lord shut the doors. All right. And he was locked in there. All right. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. So there was so much rain, you couldn't see the ground. No ground. Nothing but water flooding the whole earth. That's all you could see. All right. Nothing but water. If you had been out there. All right. Because they didn't have no airplanes back then. You couldn't fly around in an airplane. All right. So they were on the earth out there, and as far as you could see, if you had been out there, was water. You wouldn't be able to see no houses, no mountains. You wouldn't be able to see no cars, no trees, nothing. Imagine that, nothing but water flooding the whole earth for 40 days and 40 nights. And it says, and the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went up upon the face of the waters. So the waters were so high, the ark lifted up off the earth, and it just floated out there. All right, you didn't have no motor on there, none of that. You see, none of that. He had to depend on the Lord to land that ark wherever he wanted that ark to land, you see. But he moved by faith that the Lord was going to save him. We got to be able to move that same way right today. That same faith, that same belief. All right, moving by faith, doing what the Lord told us to do, because we know the Lord's getting ready to destroy this earth by fire. It's been prophesied the same way, you see, as men were warned in Noah's day. And it says, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. So all the mountains and hills were covered with water. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. You see, you couldn't see no mountains. If you had been in a jet or something, you wouldn't be able to see none of that. But they didn't have no aircraft, no jets, none of that. And the Lord wiped every man off the earth by water. And all flesh died that were moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beast and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man out there died. All right. And it says, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life of all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowls of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. All right, so the Lord let the water sit out there that high on the earth for 150 days, and everything on the earth perished. All right. And the Lord's going to do that again by fire, you see. Now, we don't know, we know that that's going to happen over here in the daughter of Babylon, where we are today. All right. The Lord's going to rain fire on the daughter of Babylon, you see. And I don't know specifically what all nations are going to be destroyed, but I believe most of it's going to be, the whole earth is going to be destroyed by nuclear weapons, is what we believe it to be, according to the prophecies. All right. That's written in Zephaniah and Zechariah and Malachi and things that the prophets saw from Isaiah all the way up through Malachi. All right. And then it says in the 8th chapter, and Yahweh remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And Yahweh made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. All right, so the waters started dropping down after 150 days. Everything was destroyed. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. So the Lord, he stopped the rain. All right. And then it says, Genesis, the 8th chapter and 3rd verse, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. All right, so that's where that if you would have been able to find the mountains of Ararat, that's where that ark landed. The Lord landed that ark on the Mount of Ararat. Okay, we believe that to be somewhere over near Mesopotamia, and over in that area, over there in the Middle East is where we believe that to be somewhere. We don't know exactly where it is, but that's where we believe it to be. And it says, and the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. All right. So after 10 months, in the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. All right. So 10 months, they finally saw the earth. You see, finally, they had landed up there on the mountain of Ararat. And it says in the 6th verse, still in Genesis 8 and 6, and it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her feet, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her and put her in unto him into the ark. So he brought the dove, and he brought her back in. He sent her out to see if she could find some land, or maybe find a twig or something, you see. But the dove came back, couldn't find nothing. All right. And it says that he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So the dove found an olive leaf and brought it back. You see, isn't that beautiful? The Lord fulfilling his promise to Noah and his family. That's a beautiful thing. That's how we're going to have to move in these last days, believing that the Lord's going to bring us by and save us. All right. And it says in the 12th verse, and he stayed yet another 7 days and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him anymore. So the dove didn't come back. So he sent him out the 3rd time. The dove didn't return. So Noah knew that the waters had assuaged. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, the waters were dried upon from off the face of the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. So Noah removed the covering, you see. And it says in the 2nd month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month was the earth dried. That's a long time to be up in there with all those animals, no doubt, you see. But the Lord was sustaining them according to his will. That's the same way the Lord's going to do us. He's going to sustain us, all right, through this nuclear fire. We got to move by faith and believe in that. You see, whatever the Lord tells us to do, that's what we're going to do. And it says in the 15th verse, and Yahweh spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kind, went forth out of the ark. All right. Now we're going to stop our lesson there. After all that had happened, I'm not going to read into it. Noah, he built an altar unto the Lord, and took every clean beast and every clean fowl and every burnt offerings unto the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not curse the ground anymore for the man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done, while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. So we know that that's not going to cease. Okay, so the Lord's going to deliver a remnant of us in these last days, all right, the same way he did Noah and his families. Now we're going to stop there. We're going to give our honor and praise. We're going to keep moving by faith, doing the Lord's will, until the Lord, our Lord and Savior Yahweh, shall redeem us as he's promised to do. So live holy, keep the faith. All right. Again, we're going to give our honor, praise, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Mekakwadash. Live holy, Israel. Shalom and a Bababal to the elect, 144,000 of the tabernacle of David, the 1/3 of the Israelites that the Lord would save, who are holy and righteous and just, be just like Noah, and to those scattered Israelites that the Lord is going to save as well, who are scattered out throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom and a Bababal.